Okay, good evening, folks, and welcome back once again to the life and suffering of Sir Brante, Sir Benedict Brante, the Inquisitor. Oh dear. So how are we all? This fine Sunday evening. The weekend has flown by once again, but thankfully the weekend next week shall be a 4-day weekend because it's Easter, so a nice 4-day bank holiday weekend for us to enjoy. For those that have bank holidays at Easter, really looking forward to it. Watching from a hotel. Oh, nice. Well, usually in a hotel there's not much to do, is there? So hopefully I can keep you entertained this evening, because it's usually trashy, crappy TV on in a hotel. That's what I watch anyway. 10-mile walk, feeling ready for some relaxation. Yeah, I just come back from football about an hour ago, so I'm ready for some relaxation. Although, actually today is the first day in a long time that I've had to turn the heating off because it's too hot. It's about 12 degrees outside, it's positively mild, and I came home after football and I'm like, it's bloody roasting in this house, turn the heating off, save some money. Bloody hellfire, I'm sweating, I just sat here. Ever walked up in Teesdale? No, I haven't. Where is Teesdale? Sounds like it's up north near Newcastle. Anyway, here we are. Let's dive in and see what shenanigans we get up to today. I think the last couple of sessions have gone pretty well, so we're bound to come up to a few stumbling blocks at some point. North of Yorkshire. Okay, that makes sense. I'd take that 20 degrees. I didn't say 20, I said 12. 20, positively lovely. 12, 30. See, it's all about, I suppose, it's perspective, isn't it? If you get 30 degrees every day, you don't like the heat so much, then I can imagine that's really oppressively hot. And you relish some coolness, whereas us Brit folk relish a bit of warmth. Anyway, here we are. Midway through peacetime, 24 years young, and apparently there's a confession to be made by somebody. Got a little tanned, what, in 12 degrees? Mind you, if you were out walking, I suppose, could happen to you. Oh. Anyway, I've had my hair shaved off today. I don't know if you can tell. Of course you can tell, probably. But yeah, gone back down to the skinhead look. Yeah, the only time I've ever got burnt in this country, because I've been burnt abroad, because you go somewhere really hot and the sun is, more potent. And there's me thinking, I've never been burnt in my life. Went to Jamaica when I was 21. Playing volleyball with no sun cream on, thinking it's fine, I'm heat resistant, clearly. Got burnt to a cinder. I realised that actually, I am susceptible to burning. I just, it just takes a certain type of sun and heat to burn me. And the only time I've ever got burnt in this country was out hiking. Up Whernside. Yes. It's lethal, that hiking business, if you don't put your sun cream on. Right, anyway, a confession. There is a confession to be made. Who needs to confess? And are we listening in? Let's find out. So a servant wakes you up in the middle of the night. There is a visitor, a champion of faith, with an urgent note. You unfold the scrap of paper. Meet me at the Silver Tree. It is urgent. Signed, Jean. Maybe she's going to confess her undying love for me. She would not summon you so late unless it were truly important. Something has happened. Is Jean in danger? The shining pillar is particularly bright tonight, its light merging with the glow of the silver tree. Jean is not by the temple door. She is a bit further away in the square. She greets you and leads you under one of the tree's enormous roots. It is twisted and bent, forming a peculiar kind of grotto. Benedict, there is something I must tell you. You are the only person I can bare my soul to. Under the silver tree, no one can ever tell a lie. I will be completely honest with you. Please offer me your guidance. Or, if I am to suffer for all eternity in the hereafter, then tell me this too. Oh, confession time, confession time. Slowly, you nod in return. The silver tree's tranquility fills you. The woman who stands before you is not an inquisitor right now. At this moment, she is a human, a person, with all her weaknesses, mistakes, and inner conflicts. Of course, you tell her you would be glad to offer her guidance. She sighs heavily. She is terrified, but her resolve is stronger than her fear. The twins, a law and will and love. This is what we tell everyone who comes to us for help. This is what we say so many times a day in prayer. Their law is clear to me, and I can feel their will everywhere. But what do I do about love? How am I supposed to tell their love from the worldly love that no priests are ever allowed to feel? Told you she was going to confess her die love to me, did I? Just spit it out, Jean. No need to beat about the bush here. Do you remember when we first met? It was here, a lifetime ago. We both belonged to the common lot back then. I took your hand in mine. I wanted to keep you safe at the temple, safe from the corrupting teachings of Fotis. And then, that's when it all began. I can still remember how you blushed. All my life, service to the twins has been my only truth. I've known my path and the sacrifices I had to make ever since I was a little girl. I'll never be a wife or a mother. I'll never live the life of pleasure. I've been given the gift of truth. I am the one who must bring their word into the world. But you, every day I spend with you is agony. Oh God. Agony, you say? Why let it be agony, my dear? I've gone astray. The light of the twins used to be my beacon, but you're blocking it out. This is wrong. I've prayed to the twins again and again to set me free from this emotion. I've tried so hard to purge the thoughts of you from my mind, tried to see you as a test that they have sent me. But I can't. You are my sin, my torture, my love. I cannot hide from this. Oh dear. I didn't know I had that effect on people. Show me the way, please. You're the only one who can do this, and no one else. It's a very foreboding sound, isn't it? Jean's hazel eyes are full of tears. The branches of the silver tree glow softly above you. She is right. There is no hiding from love. You cannot resist it. Should you even try? This is a place of honesty. And this love, it fills you both. It asks no questions as it guides you toward one another with great certainty. You take a step closer to Jean. Your heart is beating so hard it feels as though your ribs are about to break. Then, awkward, uncertain, but utterly sincere, a kiss. For one moment, Jean is paralysed in your arms, and she responds with passion, with all the love she has professed. This feeling, this emotion, so sincere, so strong. It is a gift from the twins. This touch feels so unfamiliar to you, so frightening to her. Your bodies have never known it before, bound and shackled by years of taboo. Scandal! Scandal! But right now you are both guided by something more than attraction and lust. This is love, profound and absolute, that which only they may give. With a sense of awe, you remove the veil from her head. Her hair. It has been so long, you forgot what colour it was. It is blonde, and it shines like a halo in the silver tree's glow. G moves away from you, her fingers caress your neck. You cover her palms and wrists with kisses and undo the buttons and belt on her clothing. The fallen leaves are soft, like the softest bed, as you lay her down. Good grief. Talk about kicking off things with a bang. Bloody hell. Exactly, I thought we were going to get a choice too. We would have picked the same choice, but nonetheless, Benedict's like, no, not giving you a choice, mate. Not today. Simply read on, reader, and enjoy. You cross a line you must not cross. But the power of divine love is irresistible. There are no more secrets between you. Hello? Hello? Oh. Oh, I thought you knocked on the door. You close your eyes. Sight is only a distraction now. You find her lips blindly. You share in her passion, relish her tenderness, and put her fears to rest. And she responds to you in kind, in perfect unison. All is just as it should be. Warmth spreads through your bodies like a roaring fireplace on a rainy autumn day, like a long conversation with those you hold most dear, honesty and awe. You have never felt so alive. This is more than mere intimacy. So much more. It is stronger than both of you. Time has been shattered. Minutes pass, hours, or perhaps just seconds. Together, you seem to share a furtive glance at an entire life you never lived. You lie down by her side, out of breath. Jean nestles closer to you. Her fingers trace the contours of your chest as you stroke her hair. When the sunrise finds you, it catches you by surprise. Jean's body is illuminated by the sun. She blushes and turns away. You fumble for your clothes, averting your gaze and trying in vain to hide your physical and spiritual nudity. You do not look at each other until your bodies are clothed again. We can't deny this. We can't pretend it didn't happen. But what do we do now? Oh no! Oh, bloody eloquence! It was a miracle! That's quite the compliment, isn't it? How was it for you? Miraculous. Oh, I can't believe it. I want to admit that the feelings are real. Oh, this is crap. We can't find the words to express it. What do we do now? It was an illusion. Flipping hell. Right, okay. I'm not even going to bother with these other things that we can't unlock. It's like tempting fate, isn't it? Here's what you could have won. Right, it was an illusion. We gain willpower, and Jean's relationship goes down with us. Oh, flipping hell. All these require eloquence. For God's sake. Hello, Hauler. What happened? Oh, this is... was not your will. It was the will of the silver tree. It filled you with a craving for a love you have never known. But the law of the faith cannot be altered. For priests, physical love and the union of the flesh are forbidden. Jean looks downward. You are both silent. The hum of morning life fills the slums around the tree. A thought surprises you. there were so many people around. It feels awkward. When Jean can finally look at you again, her eyes are glistening with tears. You're right, yes. It was just an illusion. What we did is forbidden. I have to go. As she walks away from the silver tree, her back is unusually straight. She does not want her weakness to show. You look up at the tree's branches and whisper a prayer. Strength fills your body. The illusion is gone now. Reality awaits. It is time to serve the twins. Okay, so perhaps old Brante, Mr. Benedict Brante, wanted to profess his undying love for Jean, but perhaps was a bit scared to do so, maybe. A bit apprehensive. You know, under the tree, one-on-one, all that pressure. What do we do now? What asking me for love? It was an illusion. Oh. Just came out. I don't know what we're saying. Illusion? Yeah, you're right, it's an illusion. Yeah, an illusion. It didn't happen. It was a dream. Right. Disappointing, that one. Not the option we would have picked if we had the choice. Anyway, we move on. 1143 is the year. Bloody hell. The Mark of Dishonour. An event that is unlocked due to our previous actions. God, there's lots of banging and crashing going on in this house. Okay. What should be pregnant? Oh God, could you imagine? It's like Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones. It's like CK2, this. A bastard child. Right, so the Mark of Dishonour. Recent events have dealt a crushing blow to the reputation of the Brante family. You have slipped into the realm of infamy and disgrace. So far, the noble families of the city have patiently endured your transgressions, but now you have lost face in their eyes. Noble society is eager to bring your every dusty scandal back into the light. Old offences, ancient grievances, and naturally, father's marriage to Lydia Brante and Gloria's ignoble origins. And they have surely not forgotten that the sons of Robert and Lydia Brante, Benedict and Nathan, were born out of wedlock. None of the nobles will ever say this to your face, of course. Their behaviour will seem perfectly ordinary on the surface. But no matter where you go now, you will be followed by scornful glances and dismissive whispers. We have to accept this and humbly bear this burden. All hope of being ennobled by the sword is lost. No matter what we do to restore our name, we will never wash away this mark of dishonour. Our family is in tatters. We have been branded. Never to recover. Oh God, never's a long time, isn't it? That's a bit harsh. Right, we're going to cut ourselves off from our family now. That was the last straw, clearly. Rumours are running wild in Anisot. People say that a mysterious clandestine society called the Last Straw holds the entirety of the city's seedy underbelly in its clutches, with men and safe houses all over Anisot plotting and scheming against the nobles and the rulers of the province. Their leader is a woman, a ruthless criminal, by the name of Sophia. She has evaded all attempts at capture. The common people both fear the Last Straw and sympathise with their cause. If the rumours are true, the city finally has someone who will stop at nothing to help the people claim their rights. But who would support this secret organisation? And how did the insurgents manage to survive this long? No one in the city knows the answers. Magistrate El Vermin must assuage the people's fears once again. The vile mutineers and heretics who call themselves the Last Straw will be caught and executed very soon, and anyone who has given them money and shelter will meet the same fate. The secret chancellery will make sure of that. But even facing a manhunt, the last straw still endures. Slowly but surely, the influence of this underground organisation is spreading throughout the city. Order decreases. Struggle for power increases towards the commoners, and the wealth of Magra decreases to a state of misery and devastation. How grim. Ooh, the Patriarch's sermon. You're afraid he'll kill Glory, and let's hope he doesn't do that. Okay, so thanks to Father Ulrich's efforts, Cassius has lost much of his support among the clergy and the flock. But today the Patriarch has summoned the people to his evening sermon in a clear bid to regain their trust. With several champions of faith for an escort, you walk to the square by the silver tree to hear him speak. Cassius stands tall above the worshippers, his feet firmly planted on the stairs leading into the temple. The old believers crowd the centre of the square, while the new believers, led by Father Leonard, stand on the outer edge. After we've done this little mini chapter, we'll have another look at all the stats again, just to refresh ourselves, I think. Forgot to do it at the start of the session. You arrive at the square as the sermon is about to begin. The Patriarch calls for silence, and the din of the crowd dies down in an instant. He speaks in a sombre voice, clearly chosen for this purpose. As Cassius addresses the crowd, he lifts his arms towards the heavens. As time goes by, the false teachings of Patriarch Fotis are spreading further and further, poisoning our land. Every day I try to guide people to the true path, to save those led astray by the heresy of the new faith. And when I saw that our brethren from the Order of the Inquisition had paid us a visit, I felt great joy, for I knew they were here to purge all lies and apostasy from the province of Magra. But then my trust was betrayed. Those who were supposed to guard the true faith deceived us all. Those who have sworn an oath to the twins to purge all heresy now abet it. They were supposed to be my strength, but they have turned against me. Hundreds of eyes turn to you, stern, unblinking. They came here to revile me and besmirch my name. They have clouded the minds of my flock and turned my brethren against me. And now I call upon you, Brother Benedict. You must now answer for your order, for I will tolerate this treatment no longer. With my lack of eloquence, this will go down like a lead balloon. Come to me now. Approach me and accept my blessing. Kneel before me and kiss my hand, so that all may see that you are humble servants of the Church. Show everyone that the Order of the Inquisition stands with the true faith. The crowd parts before you, forming a narrow passage to the temple stairs. The Patriarch extends his hand to you. Kissing it would be a public statement, tantamount to acknowledging that the Order sides with Cassius and supports him and the old faith. But do you have a reason to challenge the Patriarch? Is this the time to openly confront him and his entire flock? I think it is. Call upon Father Leonard. Cash in that favour that we spent 250 coins on. Oh, wrong game, sorry. Right, okay, let's see how this goes. You turn to Father Leonard. He nods in understanding. The abbot of the temple lifts his staff above his head. The people around him part, so that he may be seen and heard. Come on, Big Len! Patriarch! As far as I'm aware, the Inquisition works to protect the faith of the twins, which is more than the teachings of Satius or the dogmas of the old faith. They serve the elder and the younger Cassius, not you. Father Leonard's words echo across the square, followed by silence. Leonard, sooner or later you will realize that the teachings of Fotis are nothing but a lie you desperately wish to believe. but the souls you've dragged to the foot of the pillar will take you and your followers down with them. You spread your shoulders wide and address the people as loudly as you can. Oh God. Oh God. The Order of the Inquisition does not need the Patriarch's blessing. The brothers and sisters of the Order have already been blessed by the twins themselves. The Inquisitors are the judges and executioners of those who would defy the faith and stray from the true path. They need no law but the law of the younger, no love but the love of the elder. So the rumours are true. The Inquisition supports the schism within the faith. Your order has come to Magra to lay waste to the true faith in this land. Your order is working to blacken my good name among the clergy and the flock. Your order wishes to put some new believer heretic in my place so that he may poison people's hearts with his false teachings. Cassius, every year more and more people in Magra and the rest of the Empire are refusing to obey the merciless laws of the old faith. Our teacher, Patriarch Fotis, preached in this very square, and it was in this very square that he was murdered. But even that didn't stop his teachings from spreading and gaining support. One day, the new faith will come to replace the teachings of Prophet Asatius. You, too, will be replaced by a man chosen by the parish. But the Inquisition will stand guard to keep us safe from witches, apostates, and the enemies of the faith. Brother Benedict, you should go. You will find nothing but lies and false accusations here. Whew, well done, Father Leonard, thank you. You leave the square accompanied by Father Leonard. No one who was in the square will ever forget that gesture or the words you spoke today. Oh, I think that went as well as it could have done. Oh, tolerance of the faiths increase, Inquisition power decreases. The Inquisition is crumbling before our very eyes. It's tragedy. It's all going according to plan. The captive. Because our Inquisition power has decreased, something is going to happen to maybe Jean. Because it won't be flipping Father Ulrich, will it? Maybe it's us. Right, before we carry on, let's have a quick look at something here. So personality, we're still on 2 deaths. Here we go. Diplomacy of 11, Valor of 7, Theology of 11, Eloquence of 8, Manipulation of 12, Scheming 12, Willpower 30. Yeah, our eloquence really sucks, basically, which is clearly important to an Inquisitor, but hey. To say that we're an incompetent Inquisitor, we ain't doing too badly. House of Brante is completely and utterly disgraced, never to return. So that's good. Everyone's still alive at the moment, thankfully. Just about. Still got pretty good relations with Gloria. And our mother. Nathan as well. Our father indifferent. Stephen dislikes us. That's pretty much as we anticipated. Okay. Not too fussed about these people. Let's have a look. Jean was still quite good with Jean. Good with Sophia. Good with Thomas. Rest of these people indifferent with Father Ulrich at the moment. Father Leonard really got a good thing going with Mr. Leonard here. Let's look at the so currently Gaius Tempest the overseer. Cassius is the patriarch, but for how long? Struggle for power, we're hanging in the balance here. Schism is beginning to show and start shifting towards a new faith. Wealth is bad, and well, there's a little bit of discontention amongst the people here. And yeah, there we go. Inquisition power really bad now. Tolerance of faiths really good. If you want a religious riot, that is. Yeah. Anyway, welcome, Cham. You watch the F1. See, I woke up at 10 because at 10 was the start of the rerun. Because I didn't go to bed until 2. There was no way I was getting up at 6. So I watched the rerun, which was good because it cut out all of the downtime that happened in the race. It played every lap, but it just cut the downtime of the red flags out. So that was cool because that would have been a rather long race with all the dramas that happened. But don't worry, Chem. I'll Send you to sleep with a nice story time. Okay, so the captive then. It is the Inquisition's duty to act as a sword of vengeance in the hands of the Church, to inspire awe and trepidation in the hearts of sinners. But right now, the Order is too weak to protect itself even against the attacks of insolent minor nobles. 3 days ago, you received a denunciation from the village of Legras claiming that the new wife of Baron L. Liberius is a magic-wielding witch. Jean went to see the Baron and bring the woman in for questioning 2 days ago, but has not returned. Today, the Inquisition received a letter from the Baron. Inquisitor Benedict, I have the deepest respect for the Inquisition, but I cannot agree with the accusations against my wife. Catalina is not a witch. She is innocent. I give you my word as a nobleman. I have plenty of enemies. In their eagerness to sully our good name, they often start ridiculous rumours that cloud the minds of the peasants. Sister Jean refused to hear my arguments. I hope you will be more reasonable. Sister Jean is staying at my castle as an honoured guest. Withdraw all accusations against my wife, and Jean will return to Anisot. I have no intention of harming her, a promise which, incidentally, she refused to give me regarding my wife's treatment by the Inquisition. Annoyed, you drop the letter on the desk. Your authority in Magra is already in a sorry state. Acquiescing to L. Liberius' demands would mean publicly admitting how weak the Order has become. But is there any other resolution to this situation? Clearly there's not. We could abduct Catalina L. Liberius ourselves and interrogate her, which is really interesting, but not something we're going to do. We could have sought aid from our parishioners, but hello, Ollie. Is ever our plan to reduce the power of the Inquisition from within? We shall withdraw the accusations. Yes. The collapse of the Inquisition. Yay! Collapse away, Inquisition. Collapse away. There is no other way. The Baron is a powerful man with good connections. The Inquisition will have to submit to his demands. You write to L. Liberius, declaring the denunciation slanderous and withdrawing all accusations against his wife, Catalina. Yeah, the only thing suffering is the Inquisition. Jean returns the next day, filled with rage. Hey, she can't feel anything with rage. You give in to your sins under the tree, me lady. Just remember that. Near-death encounters. As long as they were near death. Defiled Jean? You are the geezer. We did no such thing. It was fairly obvious that Catalina is no witch, but how could you allow us to be humiliated by the Baron before all of Magra? Now all anyone will remember is that we can be trampled into the muck. How can the Order protect them if it can't even protect itself? Not my problem, love. I'm just a fake Inquisitor. Collapse of the Inquisition. The Inquisition loses authority and respect in the province. The Order is now too weak to make Cassius face the tribunal. Ooh, maybe this is a bad thing, you know. Maybe we should, because how are we going to remove him if we can't try him? Perhaps we should have. Perhaps we were premature in our downfall of the Inquisition. Perhaps we should have played along with the Inquisition till we removed Cassius, put Father Leonard in his place, then have the Inquisition collapse. We'll see what happens. I've caused you to buy this game. I do apologise. I'm sorry. I made you spend some money. Sorry about that. And, of course, more important than that, you're now going to have to spend time playing it. Maybe more than once. I don't know. Sorry. The hunt for Thomas. Holy hell. We're getting lots of things crop up because of our previous actions now. We love a good bargain. Up here in the north. We love a good bargain. I don't know. I didn't even. The Steam, is it still the spring sale, Easter sale, whatever it is on Steam? Is it still going on? Because I've not even looked. There could be games on there that I should add to my ever-going list. I might check it out tonight. The hunt for Thomas is on. I'm going to have to finish this stream. I'm going to have to finish this stream no later than 10, because I'm booking a holiday this evening. So I need some time to get it sorted. Off to Amsterdam, you see. Right, the hunt for Thomas. So you were shaving before going into town. You scoop some warm water from the wash basin. The morning light reflected in the mirror is blinding. A servant rushes in with an urgent letter, or rather a crumpled up note. He says it is from a childhood friend of yours. You flinch involuntarily. A nasty cut appears on your cheek. Benedict! I'm in trouble. You're the only one who can help me. I already told you about how I got on Commander Otten's bad side. I went against an order of his. Didn't want to squeeze the last penny from an already poor village. Otten thought me a traitor, and now he's finally found an excuse to take me out. If I don't find a way out of this city, I'll be executed. I did my best to hide, but Otten's henchmen are on my trail. I'm out of time. Brante, if you can, for the sake of our old friendship, help me out of this mess, somehow. If Otten finds me, I'll be off to the Shining Pillar in no time. Your friend, Thomas. You crush the note in your hands. A drop of blood runs down your cheek. Your old friend is in grave danger. If you don't interfere, Thomas Guerrero is doomed. Uh-oh. Now, I would ideally have liked to have gotten him out of the city, but that's only available if we were lotless. So, because we are a priest, we can stick him in the temple, which is exactly what we're going to do. I didn't see what the stats were, to be honest, but we'll see them at the end of this chain. You cannot and will not possibly leave your friend in need at a time like this. Not even if you have to break the rules of the Inquisition to aid him. What Inquisition? The Inquisition's gone. It's powerless. Serves no purpose here. You will hide Thomas from Otten in a place where no one will find him. The dungeons under the Inquisition ward. You set off to find him. You eventually find the place where your friend has taken shelter, an attic above a shabby inn. You've not seen him for a while, but he looks a decade older already. It pains you to see him so downcast. You tell your friend about the plan. He stands tall again. You spy a wicked spark in his eyes, a glimmer familiar from the years when you both were young. Well, I'll be. Inquisitor Brante from next door is on my side? Your dungeon don't sound half bad after our barracks. I'll be fine. However, the joy on his face quickly gives way to worry. But you'd need a reason to get me locked up down there, right? They'll surely find you out one way or another. You're getting yourself into a lot of trouble for my sake. Your voice is calm and confident as you reply to the ex-Legion soldier. You can sort it all out, but Thomas has to remember one thing. He was seen preaching in an inn in defiance of his secular lot. Thomas nods readily. When you return to the inn, a squad of Champion of Faith enters behind you. You ask the squad leader to be quiet and careful. Thomas is shackled and thrown into the dark dungeon. You make sure to visit your friend from time to time, pretending to interrogate him about his illegal sermons. The dungeon keepers show Thomas no mercy, but at least Otten's men have lost track of him. Sometime later you decide to act, and Sir Thomas Guerrero receives your verdict. For preaching without the priest's lot, he is sentenced to make a pilgrimage to the sacred sites of Magra, which are quite far from Anisot, rather fortunately. Thank you, my friend. I accept this punishment with honour. And when I'm done, I'll go to that village, Sulmina, and lay low. The locals owe me one. I'm sure I'll find shelter there. Let's just hope Otten forgets about me one day. Well, until we meet again, Brante. And so Thomas disappears outside the city gate. Several days pass. Filled with relief after rescuing your friend, you have just returned to your usual duties when Dorius Otten decides to pay the Inquisition a personal visit. He barges in, puffing with rage, a heavy sword in his hand. Oh boy. Inquisitor Brante! I was told a Magran Legion captain by the name of Thomas Guerrero has escaped justice in your dungeons. I demand you release my underling into my care this instant. You go to the Inquisition gate and meet the Archnean's fuming demands with a calm response. Indeed, Thomas Guerrero was put into the dungeons for preaching in defiance of his lot, but he has already been punished and is now a pilgrim on the roads of the province. You regret to inform His Excellency that you cannot aid him in his search. You're a liar, Brante! You know I can't prove it, but I know you hid him from me. You've got quite the nerve to defy my right to command my men as I see fit. Do you think your cassock's going to protect you from me? All you did was show everyone the Inquisition gives refuge to the very criminals it's supposed to shun. But now, by my right, I'll teach you a lesson of my own, a lesson you'll never forget. Uh-oh. Oh! Otten's hand moves in the blink of an eye. You have no time to react. Cold steel pierces your heart. Your vision grows dark, and then the world is filled with a blinding light. I don't flipping believe it! You can't just walk in here, start stabbing priests! What the hell? Oh, right, we can't help anybody now. We've got one life left. Can't help another person. Oh, we've lost 2 lives helping people. You are surrounded by an immense grey void. There is nothing but shadows around you. The spectres of your decisions. The spawn of your personal will. You see before you all your victories and defeats. All your errors and hopes. Another shadow comes to life by your side. As you gaze at these elusive, moving silhouettes, you recognize your last action. This is the death you chose to face, knowing what fate was to befall you. This is the decision you made. The shadows keep spinning and dancing around you, the footprints of every step you have taken since the day you were born. A colossal figure looms over them all. Your future true death. You can no longer deny its imminence. It has always been there, waiting for you. Now, you are only one step away from it. But you will take this step yourself. The familiar gigantic figures of the twin gods appear from the void to meet you. They effortlessly lift your tiny soul and hold it in their hands. You have always been in the twin gods' hands. Their will created you. The elder did not grant you his love, he forced you into it. The younger shaped you according to his law without giving you a choice. An enormous whirlwind arises in the void. The twin gods release you into it, and the torrent of an unfathomable will whisks you away. You are merely a minuscule particle of this universal tide. This will is the sole determiner of all events, past, present and future. Your puny actions and choices are nothing in the face of the force this torrent harbours. You whirl in the cosmic vortex of the twin gods' will until it casts you out. You careen back down to your earthly life. It is only now that you regain your ability to act. You see all the wills of the universe intertwined in a perpetual struggle against one another. Which will will you follow? The will of the elder, the will of the younger, earthly power, blood-tied history? No, we will follow our own will. You fall into an endless web formed by the wills of the mortal world. Now that you are free of the cosmic vortex, you can finally exert your own will and make a choice. It feels like a first gasp of air after being suffocated by an alien will, the will of the gods. But for your chosen will to be incarnated here in this world, one decision is not enough. You will have to follow this path to its conclusion, to turn this will into reality by way of your decisions, deeds and actions. Your eyes snap open and you sit up abruptly. The crypt is spinning around you. The stagnant stench chokes you. You got out. You succeeded in preserving yourself against the whirlwind that was tearing you asunder. The will of the twin gods have commanded you to continue your existence. You feel the urge to fall flat on your back and cackle madly. You are back, but for the final time now, surely. Oh, God. Hello, JC. Welcome, sir. The Hunt for Thomas. Still part of the same chapter, of course. You come back to life naked and trembling in the cold, dark family crypt. It takes time for your thoughts to return to recent events. Your first thought is, what happened to Thomas? You ask around after returning to worldly matters. It appears Otton gave up the search for his subordinate and disappeared without a trace in the sprawling lands of Magra. Your sacrifice was not in vain. Your friend is finally safe. Rescued. Safe from the deadly threat. Inquisition now is done and dusted. We have died thrice, increased in scheming. I feel like we're doomed. Evening prayer. Triggered because of the Inquisition's horrendously low power. Can we get a new job? The Inquisition has lost what little power it once had in the province. Your silver medallion no longer inspires any awe in people's hearts, only disdain and rage. It is a gloomy evening. You stop by a small chapel on the way home. What is your duty now? Is the fate that has befallen the Order your fault? Seeking an answer, you offer a prayer to the twins. The door behind you opens. The wind from outside blows the candles out. Half a dozen silhouettes surround you in the darkness. You hear an old woman speaking in a scornful voice. You are Brother Benedict, are you not? Now listen closely and repeat what I tell you to the Order's other hounds. Stay away from our patriarch. We will not allow your brethren to slander his good name. Understood? You can finally discern their faces and ragged clothing. They are clearly commoners. But what right do they have to bear arms and ambush you? None at all. But things have gone horrendously wrong right now, and all we can do is slip away very quietly. We seem to be spiraling into something very bad here. You have no intention of dignifying her demand with a response. Saying nothing, you walk toward the exit, trying to ignore the intruders. Hey, murderer, are you deaf? You better answer or you'll regret it. Still silent, you walk between the men, blocking the doorway, and go outside. They follow you with threats and insults. But you have withstood this ordeal. You take a deep breath and head home. After taking off your cassock and saying your evening prayers, you are about to turn in when you hear glass shattering downstairs. Trying not to wake your family, you walk down to the first floor. You smell something burning. The sitting room is blanketed in smoke, fire slowly creeping up the curtains and across the carpet. You do not sleep that night. Your family and the servants pour water onto what was once your sitting room. Someone has scrawled the word murderer on the front door of your house. Father pulls you aside. Benedict, I do not know what is going on in your order, but this is unacceptable. You have brought trouble to our home, the home I am sworn to protect. Promise me this will never happen again. Oh, God. Look at the state of this. You've promised, Father, that you will not endanger your family again. I don't know how we can promise that, but hey. But you are not even remotely convinced that you will be... Exactly. Oh my God. The lesser evil. Oh my God. All these flipping things kicking off. Maybe we can pull this back. Well, all we can do is try, right? Let me put my name down for football here. Anyway, yeah, so Graham Potter sacked. I think you said there, Cham, which is not a surprise, really. I reckon he'll go to Leicester next. Anyway, the lesser evil. A year has passed since the day Gloria asked for your protection. You have brought up her lowly position several times in conversation with Father, but every time his face darkens and he asks you to stop. You can feel Stephen's influence behind these refusals. Your only option is to wait for something to change. Meanwhile, emotions are running high in the family. Gloria disappears for days at a time. She is often seen in the company of young citizens of low estate. Father constantly lectures Gloria, telling her that her friends are libertines and troublemakers, and connections like these will be her downfall. Your sister obediently lends an ear to his speeches, then vanishes again. You are relaxing in the bath after a long day when you suddenly hear rapid footsteps in the hallway and Stephen's angry voice. The door to the bathroom bursts open. Benedict! Get dressed. We're waiting for you in the sitting room. It's urgent. Perplexed, you get out of the tub and make yourself presentable. Father and Stephen are waiting for you in the sitting room. Gloria is huddled in a chair in the corner. Your elder brother swiftly locks the door behind you. This bodes ill. So, I was on my way to a ball at the Elderberry's mansion. I was already on their doorstep when a servant told me that he had been ordered to turn me away. They will not have anything to do with a family whose offspring is a member of a secret society. Father, Benedict, whom do you suppose they meant? Gloria looks at Stephen defiantly, her lips pursed tightly. This is the last straw. You will make pariahs of us all, Gloria. I will not allow you to ruin everything Sir Gregor worked for. Stephen is nearly screaming, but then he pulls himself together and continues in a more composed manner. I'm afraid Lady Gloria cannot remain in this house, but being honourable people, we must provide for her future. Sir Jose L. Pelletier is willing to take her as his lawful wife. Gloria, you will be accepted into a household of nobles of the sword. I have been negotiating with your suitor for quite some time. Who gave you the right to decide my fate behind my back? You aren't even the head of the family. Gloria, you must abide by the decisions of your elders. This family has done much for you already. Now, I am even going to provide you with a good match. But you're acting like a spoiled child. You will be a nobleman's wife, you fool. You'll be able to write your poems. You'll want for nothing. You'll be able to enjoy your life. Sir L. Pelletier has been hounding me for a year now. I can't believe he's in love with me, a lowly common girl. Sure, he's easy on the eyes, he's a skilled warrior and a respected nobleman, but he needs a wife to give birth to his heirs, follow him around obediently at social gatherings and praise his chivalry. Can't you see that I don't belong in his family? Stuff and nonsense. Father, here is a letter to the L. Pelletiers. Sign it as the head of the family. We should invite our future relatives to our house and introduce ourselves to Gloria's future husband and his parents. I hope that Benedict will do his part as well. Father reluctantly skims the letter and frowns. Oh, Stephen, why have you never spoken to me about a matter of such importance? No match can be made without my consent. Have I announced my wish for Gloria to be married? Father, she leaves us no choice. You know that we cannot make Gloria a Brante, but our family reputation still suffers because of her rebellious ways. Don't you see that this marriage will benefit everyone? Gloria springs to her feet, choking with rage. You do anything to prevent me joining this family. This marriage will bring nothing but sorrow to me and Sir El Pelletier. All you ever think about is your own interests. Ingrate! I'm looking out for you, and this is how you repay me? Or would you prefer to be cast out for your disgraceful antics? Father, please sign this letter and free us from this debacle once and for all. Gloria rushes toward you in desperation and clasps your hand. Brother, please, you promised you'd never let them kick me out. Okay, so we say nothing? Or No, we're going to have to put pressure on our father, clearly. Challenge Stephen to a duel. Right, okay, so this will further decrease the family's unity. Reputation with Stephen, increase with Gloria, decrease with my father even more. Bad blood with Stephen. Gloria gets to stay at home. Holy cow. Father hesitates, watching Stephen and Gloria argue, but you are certain that he will most likely take your advice. Pointedly turning away from Stephen, you address your father. What is happening? How has Stephen assumed power in the family? What gives him the right to make decisions about Gloria's future? Rage slowly boils in your father's eyes. You zealously add fuel to the fire. Your passionate speech continues. Father made his decision when he accepted Gloria into his home with her mother. It was grandfather who tried to oust them both from his home for the crime of low birth. The old man may be resting in his tomb, but his machinations have been taken over by his favourite grandson, Stephen. Father has surely had enough of this tyranny under his own roof. Haven't you, Father? He has the right to choose his own family. Father slams his fist on the table. Stephen instinctively steps back. Gloria gives the head of the house a look full of hope. You are right, Benedict. Enough! I did not earn the noble lot to be ordered around. Stephen, I am the head of this household. You are not Gregor Brante, and you never will be. He takes the letter to the groom's family and tears it to shreds. Stephen's face grows crimson. He can barely contain his rage. If you cannot keep the family in check and defend our honour, Father, then I will have to do it myself. Stephen's words send you into a long, vehement speech. How dare he? Father has dedicated his entire life to this family. Only he knows what is best for it. You're right, Benedict. My fear of your grandfather was too strong, but those days are over. Gloria is Lydia's daughter, the daughter of my wife, and she is my daughter as well. Gloria is shaking now. She cannot believe her ears. Father, what are you saying? Come to your senses. Your dishonour will ruin our entire family. It's already ruined, mate. Freaky to the wrong people now. Father does not dignify Stephen's words with a response. His eyes are fixed solely on Gloria. Dishonour does not frighten me. Gossip does not frighten me. Come to me, my daughter, Gloria Brante. Gloria falls on her adoptive father's shoulder, racked by silent tears. Father! You join their embrace. Gloria squeezes your hand in hers, your sister's eyes glimmering with joy and gratitude. The door slams loudly. Stephen rushes down the steps, saddles his horse, and is gone. A long time passes before he returns. Well, I think that was a good outcome. Stephen ticked off even further, and Gloria and Father come closer together. We all end in an embrace. Family names in ruins, but hey, as he said, dishonour does not frighten me. Gossip does not frighten me. Peasants burning a house down, however, does slightly frighten me. Gloria is now adopted by our father. The unity of the house is about to hit rock bottom. Oh boy. We need to power on. Let's get to the end of the game as quickly as we can before we die again, because surely death awaits us in one form or another. Either Stephen will kill us, the mob are going to kill us, Father Ulrich might kill us. The Archduke relents. After many years, The simmering, unceasing hostilities between Overseer Gaius Tempest and Archduke Melanidas have finally come to an end. The Archduke has abandoned all attempts to collect additional taxes from the people. By my grace, I hereby release the common people of Magra from the Archduke's tax. All hail the dynasty of Melanidas, which has protected you since time immemorial. The farmers and merchants can finally heave a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the Archduke soon withdrew from all provincial affairs, sequestering himself in his ancestral castle of Serpenwerda. The gentry who remained loyal to the Archduke are baffled. Has he accepted defeat at the hands of the Overseer, or is this just an elaborate ruse? Either way, with the Archduke out of the picture, the senior gentry of Magra have lost some of their influence to the Overseer and his retinue of budding dynasties and nobles of the mantle. The feud between the two Arknian rulers has ended, but the noble estate has been split nonetheless. The common people see this as yet another reason to demand change. Wealth of Magra increases. Struggle for power increases. A sinner's confession. Dusk falls. After a hot day, the city begins to cool down. The skies grow darker. The pillar begins to shine brighter on the horizon. The people of Anisot leave their homes to enjoy an evening stroll. This is what you see today from the windows of your ascetic lodging at the Inquisition ward. How many years has it been since you returned home? What have you achieved in this time? Every year, Magra descends even deeper into chaos. The schism between the old faith and the new is tearing the church apart. Patriarch Cassius now openly opposes the Inquisition, and you are still not sure the report against the Patriarch was true. You are running out of precious time, but the truth is just as elusive as it was the day you came home to Anisot. If a priest has questions, who can answer them? Who can guide those who offer guidance? A thin book finds its way into your hands. Profound Revelation, a collection of all known speeches by the Elder, preserved in writing by Prophet Isatius. You open the book and your eyes find the words once spoken by a living God. And the Elder said, I and mine own brother did stand amidst the world, and together we revealed ourselves to them in the flesh. And we found them all besotted, and yet they thirsted not, and sorrow did fill our souls. For their hearts were blind, and they did not see that they enter this world as empty vessels. But now they are besotted. Should they reject the wine, they will beg for mercy, but they shall have none. And my brother shall judge them, and each shall obtain retribution in the full measure of his deeds, whilst I remain apart in my sorrow. As you meditate over this line, you suddenly hear some sort of commotion on the floor below. How strange. The Inquisition ward is supposed to be empty at this late hour. You hurry down the stairs. There are several champions of faith dragging a chained man down to the Inquisition dungeons. It is your younger brother, oh God. Nathan has been spending most of his time away from home lately. You are not sure when you last saw him. His clothes are torn and tattered, his unwashed hair is tangled, and stubble covers his face. He is brazenly drunk, unable to stand. Even from so far away, he reeks of vomit and urine. Inquisitor Benedict, I didn't think I'd find you here. My men caught this drunk by a temple. People told us he was cursing at the twins and pissing under their statues. We found him on his knees in a puddle of his own filth. He must have been praying for their forgiveness, the fool. Even a child knows the younger never stays his hand. He's so drunk, we couldn't even get his name out of him. I'd let him sleep it off before the interrogation if I were you. You thank the captain for his information, but insist on interrogating the man right away. As you wish. The night watchman will be right here. Just give us a shout if you need us. Nathan sprawls on the floor, motionless. You hold a thin slab of silver in your hands and pray to the elder for a cure. The silver melts into thin air. Your brother winces and squirms as if in pain, but soon grows quiet. His eyelids flutter open. His eyes are filled with animal terror. Benedict? Where am I? You tell him everything Captain Agora-Nim told you just now, then ask Nathan to explain what happened tonight. He sits up, squeezing his knees to his chest. His voice is very quiet. It'll be a long story, brother. You won't like it when you hear it, but I don't care. If it's you, I'll be honest. I've rejected the twins. Several years ago now. Their will and love and law mean nothing to me anymore. Our gods are merciless. Their law is brutal, ruthless. Their love is an abuse. Their will is tyrannical. What? You cannot help but glance around at the interrogation room. Are you sure no one heard your brother's blasphemy? I couldn't live by the law of my birth like Isatius wants us to. I turned to the new faith and tried to find my own path to the twins, but it just showed me that I don't hate my path. I hate the gods themselves. I met a man once by the name of Father Mark. He was kind to me. He gave me the answers I needed. He guided me to the path I was looking for, a path away from the twins. Mark teaches that the twins are nothing but absolute will, and we're all going to be dissolved in it in the hereafter. Everything we are will be gone. Mark says the mortal world is the only place where we're free to reject the will of the twins and live a life of freedom. Only here are we free to struggle against their merciless law and the love they force upon us. Only here, in this world, can people like me be themselves. Nathan cuts himself short. His eyes are filled with sorrow and disappointment. Mark never told us to pray or perform rituals. He told us to do everything we could to forget the twins exist. We need to set ourselves free from their will, to be who we really are. And I believed him. I rejected the twins, and I found my freedom. I became one of Mark's favourite disciples. You can't even imagine how many important people follow him. Even Patriarch Cassius. He follows Mark's teachings too. Ooh. You cannot believe your ears. Patriarch Cassius, he's been helping witches and people of other faiths, and people like me. He gave us shelter to hide from your ordered spies. He told us he was happy to help somebody, anybody, be free from the twins so we can live out our lives as we see fit. But there's just one problem. Most of us don't know what to do with that freedom. You know, Benedict, I've drunk so much wine. I've eaten all the food no commoner is ever supposed to taste. I've made love to so many women and men. I felt all the pleasures I could find, but I've never found peace. I was just trying to drown out the cacophony of fear and desperation in my soul. He lets out a bitter chuckle and rolls up the sleeve of his shirt. There is a black circle around his forearm. Your brother has known a lesser death. I've been drunk for days when that happened. I don't even know what killed me. Can you imagine? But that death woke me up. When I appeared before the twins, I saw just how wrong I was. Mark, he took them away from me. The freedom he gave me was just nothing, an endless waste of life. I'm already doomed to suffer, but I am still not happy here in my worldly life. Nathan points at his chest. He used to wear a symbol of the twins there. Then I started drinking again. I tried to reject it, everything I felt. That's when I went to the statues of the twins, screamed insults, asked them questions. Why can't I just accept them? Why can't they just accept me? But of course, they didn't tell me anything. They never listen. They just speak their word. Then I got down on my knees and begged them for forgiveness, even though I know they never, ever forgive. Nathan looks at you again. Brother Mark's path wasn't mine after all, Benedict, but there are people, some people, who don't have a place in the world of the twins. Please, I'm begging you, have mercy on them. They're already doomed in the hereafter. Please, let them live their mortal lives in peace. Your eyes are fixed on your younger brother. This is it. The answer you have been waiting for all along. Have the twins finally heard your prayers? And what do they want you to do now? Holy flipping guacamole! Right, just muting this blasted phone. Okay, so we can judge Nathan and find him guilty, or we could set him free. We can't try our own brother here. And plus, don't we need him alive? He's got information about Patriarch Cassius following this Father Mark. He could be a witness. I'm going to set him free, but we'll see what the other option does. So, judging Nathan guilty... would have given us evidence against Cassius. Increased our Inquisition power by 2. Okay, set Nathan free. Oh. Increases tolerance of face, decreases Inquisition power, reputation of the family goes down, scheming goes up, manipulation goes up, relationship with Nathan goes up. So this is the only one that gives evidence against Cassius. We can't take him to trial anyway, tribunal. Yeah, we got that message, didn't we? I think. Okay, we're going to set our brother free. You are sure, Nathan, that he has already been punished for his transgressions. His path to the twins has been full of suffering, but such is the lot of the commoner. Benedict! I don't even know what to say. Thank you, brother. Nathan reaches out to you for an awkward hug. You push him away, thinking about how to get out of this predicament. If Nathan is left in the dungeon until morning, Ulrich will surely get his hands on him. You quickly walk upstairs. What is it, Inquisitor? The prisoner has confessed his misdeeds and is ready to be punished for them. Astonishing! I was certain it was impossible to get anything out of that drunkard. What is his punishment? You sentence your brother to the usual punishment for drunkenness, 7 days with an iron chain around the neck. He will endure this burden and the shame that comes with it. You accompany your brother out of the Inquisition ward by the grey light of dawn. Nathan walks slowly. The metal ball chained to his neck weighs him down. Soon the pain will make him scream, but the punishment is nothing compared to the crimes he has committed. So, about Father Mark, listen. He's planning to gather his supporters at the country mansion of a nobleman named El Gorthia. There are usually several guards at meetings like these, and they're already ready to sound the alarm at the drop of a hat. They'll definitely notice a group of men, but a single person won't seem suspicious. The password to the meeting is Alice. I heard it's the name of the woman Mark used to love. You recognise that name? Talk to him. I think you have both something to say to each other. Alice, there she is. The singer. The golden voice. That's the lady. Isn't she a mage? You ask Nathan why he decided to share this with you. You have something the twins don't have. And what is that? Mercy. Mark isn't a bad man. You'll see. You help me. Maybe you can help him too. You cannot promise that. Father Mark is an apostate and a renegade. I see. The next morning, your brother's shame makes your family the talk of the town. Again, more things for people to gossip about. Stephen is livid, but the rest of the family just feels sorry for Nathan. Then, as noon approaches, Inquisitor Ulrich sends for you. He wants to see you right away. Oh boy. You meet at a chapel near the Inquisition ward. You are alone in the house of the twins. Surely you were not expecting to conceal yesterday's incident from me? I have questioned the witnesses. Your brother's actions called for a much severer punishment. You allowed your feelings and family ties to outweigh your duty as a servant of the twins. This is unacceptable. Father Ulrich is right. You are ready to accept any punishment your mentor deems necessary, but first you have urgent news to deliver about Patriarch Cassius and his apostasy. Ulrich's eyes grow wide. You tell your mentor about Father Mark and his connection to the Patriarch. The Inquisitor nods in approval. Very good. Your punishment can wait for now. Go find this Mark and take him to our dungeons. There's not much time left until the next sacred conclave. If Cassius is indeed a heretic, we must expose him before he is elected Patriarch again. Ooh. Disgraced. It's fine. It's fine. We're a disgrace. The new sacrament is unlocked because we have a tolerance of faiths greater than 8. Every chapter of this session has pretty much been something due to consequences previous. It's quite cool, actually. We are in peacetime, but we are progressing towards the revolt, or whatever the next chapter is called, and you can actually feel it, can't you? You can feel the chaos is about to ensue. It's going to spill over. For the first time in years, the authority of the new faith is on a par with that of the old. The city is changing. Its people are changing too. Abbot Lennart is beloved by the people. He has supporters in the city, among the peasantry, and even among the nobles of the mantle. We all want to see Lennart become patriarch, as do we. You know that you can take some of the credit for this. The faithful no longer fear the twins. They proceed up to the peak of the shining pillar along the path their heart has chosen. Among the ranks of the order are many brothers and sisters who, like you, openly support the teachings of Fotis and defend the new faith. Today, Father Lennart is gathering his flock by the temple for a sermon. Our path to the twins is a search for the will, love, and law they have bestowed upon us. By means of the word the twins have bequeathed to us, we strive to comprehend their design and our place in it. May the lash and the sword remain things of the past, just like the lots. Our sacrament is that of the word. The book will be the symbol of the new faith. Lives of the twins will be the foundation of our sacrament. As soon as Abbot Lennart finishes this sermon, a familiar voice cuts through the din of the crowd. New faith, new sacrament, new patriarch. The parishioners echo Sylvan's cry. Oh, that's his little right-hand man, isn't it? Pray right here on the street, says Sylvan. Preach to the people, spread our teachings. Give your neighbour the sacrament of the book and set them on the right path. You are free from the lots. May everyone know this freedom. The new believers take over the city in a matter of days. They do not rob, loot, or commit acts of violence. Priests, commoners, and nobles flood the square and street corners, preaching the new faith and offering prayers to the twins. No one who walks the streets of Anisot can fail to hear their word. The lot must be forsaken. Those who wish to share the new faith will obtain the sacrament of the book. Thus do the new believers grant them the freedom to choose their own path to the gods. This turn of events cannot remain unnoticed. Having solicited the support of the overseer, Patriarch Cassius addresses the people of Anisot. The sacrament is the foundation of the law of the twins, which is in turn the foundation of our blessed empire. By rejecting the sword and the lash, the new believers have rejected the elder and the younger. Their new sacrament is a rebellion against the order that the twins bequeath to us, and thus a rebellion against the empire itself. I hold the overseer's order in my hand. Gaius Tempest commands us to prevent any change to the sacrament and punish those who persist in their sinful delusion. Jean echoes Cassius's words before the brothers and sisters of the Order. The new believers are not going to bow to our will without a fight, but our righteous indignation is a manifestation of the will of the younger. Punishing those who trespass against the divine law is our lot and our sacred duty. The prefecture's gendarmes are on our side. But several brothers and sisters suddenly begin to advocate for the new faith. They do not see the sacrament of the book as a heresy. They also point out that matters of faith are beyond the power of the overseer. Gaius Tempest has no right to give orders to the Inquisition. Outraged by their words, Ulrich suddenly defends Jean. The word is their weapon, but ours have always been the sword and the lash. Death is a better admonition than 1,000 sermons. Tomorrow, the Inquisition will send those heretics to meet the twins. There, they will know the light of truth. Okay, we can't defend them, because we lack eloquence, of course. Shoot. Okay, follow the overseers. The Inquisition will force the new believers to forsake their new sacrament. Okay, oh, that sucks. Okay. Damn. Early in the morning, the clanking of armour resounds through the streets. You and your brothers and sisters in faith accompany the champions of faith. Jean, Benedict, go to the city hall. The heretics have started to erect barricades in the square. It is time to remind them of their lot. Meanwhile, I'll head for the Silver Tree. I will deal with Abbot Leonard and the new believers who have taken over the temple. You have almost reached the city hall when you are forced to stop in front of overturned carriages blocking the street. You see new believers led by Sylvan Samosta behind the barricades. Brothers and sisters, we will fight to the bitter end. The power of our faith terrifies them. I can hear the twins calling out to us. They're asking us to fight. Have no fear of the watchdog sent by Cassius and the Overseer. The gods are on our side. They throw stones, oil lanterns and torches at you from behind the barricades. The champions of faith raise their shields to protect the inquisitors. You offer a prayer to the elder asking him to heal the wounded soldiers. Silver melts between your fingers. The fanatics attack you with a ferocity you would not have expected from new believers. The champions of faith draw their weapons. Blood is spilled. Dead bodies are skewered on spears. Your squad proceeds slowly but steadily. You crush the barricades and the people who stand in your way. The fanatics' untrained forces are scattered by the champions of faith. The new believers lose their nerve and retreat. The brief yet brutal battle ends in your hollow victory. The square is littered with dozens of bodies. Most of them dissolve in shimmering mist. They will receive their admonition and be reborn. I have seen this already, Brother Benedict. I tell you true, I have seen it. The wrath of the gods is nigh. If we do not stop the spread of the heretical new faith, the twins will return to our world and bring their retribution. It is very late at night by the time the order is finally restored in the city. The new believers in the Temple of the Silver Tree voluntarily follow Overseer's orders. Father Leonard publicly denounces the new sacrament, thus maintaining his office as abbot and saving his flock from slaughter. Sylvan Samosta is declared a traitor to the Empire. He fled the city after his rebirth, and no one knows his current whereabouts. The brothers and sisters who followed the path of the new faith decide to leave the order. You are unable to dissuade them. The bloodbath in the city hall square, the Inquisition's handiwork, was the last straw for them. Oh, that's a bad outcome, is that? That is a bad outcome. Oof. Would I play a second? Would I do a second playthrough? No. I'll probably watch just somebody do a playthrough of it though. Holy hell. Such a path we have gone down today. What did I say? What did I say at the start of the session? Oh, the last couple of sessions got nice and smooth. Curse myself once again. Okay, so this is the Renegade. It's quite late at night. The cold air of the desert burns your skin. You're accompanied by Jean, Captain Agoranim, and his champions of faith. You're on your way to the El Gorthia estate. Father Mark will preach there tonight. Your plan is almost complete. There are only minor details left to discuss. My squad and I will be right nearby. We'll rush to your aid if you need us. Be careful. We don't know what to expect of these renegades. Try to arrest Father Mark, but do not take any unnecessary risks. Inquisitor, you are heading into the enemy's lair to act as my weapon. When the time comes, smite the heretics mercilessly with the power of the twins. You promptly don inconspicuous travel attire instead of your usual cassock. There are priests among Father Mark's followers, but it is best not to attract attention. You saddle up and ride toward the estate. The entrance is guarded by armed men. You give them the password and proceed to the courtyard. You see several dozen people in the house. The cavernous main hall is lit by flickering candlelight. You see many commoners and a few noblemen seated around the tables. You spot armed guards by the windows and doors. You take a seat in the corner, far from the large groups of people, and await the beginning of the sermon. A short, stout man steps up onto a little pedestal. He is wearing the brown cassock of a clergyman, but without any symbols of the twins. The audience greets him with cheers. He responds with a charming smile and raises her hand, calling for silence. Greetings to you all. I see some new faces among us. You came to this house because you find no refuge elsewhere. You came because you have questions no one is willing to answer. Why are the laws of this world so cruel? Why is your life, regardless of your estate, full of torment? Why are the ways of this world so unjust? And I answer, ye shall know the tree by the fruits. The twin gods created this world with their will. The twin gods bestowed their law upon us. The twin gods filled the world with their love, but their creation is unendurable. There is no mercy in it, no joy, no kindness. If the world the gods created is so cruel, the only conclusion is that we have very cruel gods. A disturbed murmur buzzes through the audience. What the twins do to us with their will, their law, and even their love is a violation. They take our lives away, subjecting our existence to their will. Our happiness and joy is of no consequence to them, nor are our desires and hopes. All they require is servitude and unquestioning obedience. After we die, the inevitable awaits us. We will be dissolved in their boundless will, submitted to their absolute law, and drowned in their merciless love. Our will shall be no more. In the hereafter there is no I, just they. We will cease to exist. So it makes no difference what we face after death. Whether the peak of the pillar or the foot, it is all the same. Eternity, dissolution, and oblivion. But despair not, brothers and sisters. As long as we have our worldly life, we do exist. As long as we live, we can still discover ourselves and become what we want to be, not what they want us to be. So we must cast aside the twins and live our lives in this world without a second thought for our cruel gods. We are all doomed in the hereafter, hence we are free now. I call upon you to rebel. Without a spiritual rebellion, we will all become slaves to their will for the rest of our lives. We will miss our only chance to live beyond the bounds of their pitiless law, and our lives will be no different from the hereafter that awaits us. The listeners meet Mark's words with hushed awe. Just got to get me dinner. Bear with me. But be aware that the path of deliverance is hard. Freedom is a burden, and it can break the spirit of even the most stalwart and wise. You think of Nathan lying on the dungeon floor. Patriarch Cassius was our brother and followed our teachings. He protected those in need of salvation and freed those who could no longer bear the will of the gods. But Cassius embarked upon the path of rebellion in an attempt to become like unto a god himself. I taught Cassius to forsake the divine laws, but what he heard was, make your own law. I taught him to save those who suffer from the will of the twins, but he heard, subject the world to your own will. Patriarch Cassius wants to defy the twins and forcibly liberate people of their oppression. His intention is to spread my teachings, turning them into a new prison for this world. I tried to make Cassius see reason. But a man who considers himself equal to the gods is deaf to the words of a mere mortal. I cannot stand against him, and I will not support him. This is the reason I am leaving Anisot and Magra. Tonight we meet for the last time. Mark steps down. He is instantly surrounded by people. It is time to decide what to do next. I think it's time to capture him, to be honest with you. Return to Jean, capture Mark. We need him, right? Oh, this is going to kill us! This is going to kill us! Oh no! Oh! I've made my choice. I can't go back on it now. I mean, a third death might not be the end of the playthrough. Oh no. Oh, this is roleplay for you folks. We made our bed. Ugh. You have to arrest Mark and wait for Jean to arrive, no matter what. You step into the middle of the hall and make a loud pronouncement. In the name of the Inquisition, everyone in this house is under arrest. Why did this look like a good idea? The building is surrounded by champions of faith. Resistance will only lead to unnecessary bloodshed. People spring to their feet. The guards are bewildered. You continue to shout orders, hoping that Jean will arrive in time. Elgorthia, the host, draws up a curtain to reveal a secret door in the floor. Mark and his entourage move toward the hidden exit. You find a silver slab with your fingers, say a short prayer to the younger, and dash toward the heretic. Without wasting a second, you implore the younger. You raise your arms, allowing a miracle of the twins to be performed. The burning hot silver disappears, a white flash lights up the night, the preacher's body falls to the floor. Elgorthia gives orders to his men. Several guards run towards you. One flash after another flies from your fingertips. The men drop to the floor, bound by the power of the twins. The burning hot silver slab leaves marks on your palms. Where could Jean be? Elgorthia draws his sword and attacks you. You instinctively reach for a silver slab, but do not have time to say a prayer. Elgorthia's blade slashes through your face and chest. Your legs give way. You fall to the dirty floor face down. Cold spreads throughout your body. Your vision is clouded by a bloody haze. A few moments later, a white flame flashes near you. Elgorthia falls down, bound by the power of the twins. Jean is here. You draw your last breath, then all is dark. This was your fourth and final death. You had spent all the time allotted to you by the gods. As you soar toward the shining pillar, you take one last glance down. You see thin shimmering lines running along the ground. You observe the human fates with which your earthly life was connected. Fates that will now continue their course without you. No, game, no.
Neither side could overcome the other. The fire of the revolt could not be extinguished. The province, and then the whole empire, fell on troubled times.
I can't believe it. For years after your death, Anizot continued to simmer like a cookpot over a slow flame. The powerlessness of the simple folk, unable to change the old order, gradually gave way to rage. Finally, this anger became stronger than their age-old submission to the higher estate and their fear of divine retribution. The rage was the spark that lit the fire of the revolt. The rebels took up arms and seized the city for themselves, led from the shadows by the last straw. When the moment of truth came, there was no soul in Anizot strong-willed enough to spearhead the raging revolt. The opposing factions soon reached a stalemate in which neither side could prevail completely. Anizot refused to surrender, but after a prolonged siege, Gaius Tempest finally broke the city's defences and the legion entered the rebellious city of Anizot. The insurgents fled. The mobs disappeared from the squares and the streets. The leaders of the revolt were hanged. But the city's capture made even more trouble for the overseer. The unrest was beaten down but not suppressed completely. New riots followed one by one as the common folk, the new faith priests and many nobles of the mantle continued to wage a desperate struggle against the old authorities. Gaius Tempest responded to the seething rebellion with more executions and threats, but dissent continued to grow. As the unrest in the city smouldered, the rest of the empire eventually caught wind of the Anizot revolt. Nearby Magran towns and villages saw their first riots soon after. Chaos began to spread across the empire. The empire responded to this enduring turmoil with ruthless action, but even after several villages and towns were drowned in blood, the riots only intensified. The dominance of the emperor and his dynasty began to wane. Power struggles broke out between the powerful nobles in the capital. Then, a shocking event shook the empire to its core. Emperor Uther II was found dead in his palace, never to be reborn. His heirs, Gerion and Flavius, both disappeared without a trace. With no one to take the throne, the noble dynasties accused one another of plotting against the Tempest's rule. Feuds and internecine strife became commonplace. And so began an age of anarchy, a time of massacre and riots, conflict and bloodshed, chaos and unrest. There were no winners in this war of all against all, only survivors. The empire entered a dark and terrible age. You have made your last and most important choice. Was your death worth it? Could you have chosen a different path? Either way, there is no going back. Your fate is sealed. There is no returning from the hereafter. And so you bid farewell to your mortal life. Everything you fought for, everything you strove for, all that is behind you now. You are on your way to the shining pillar to await the judgment of the twins. You can no longer change the world's destiny, but the choices you made and the deeds you did have left an indelible mark. The world will remember the life and suffering of Benedict Brante. The hour of your death has come. Your soul has left your body, never to return. You are taken to the peak of the shining pillar. Every moment separates you more and more from the mortal realm. The link that once bound you to it is gone forever. You look up to see two divine visages watching you intently. The elder twin gazes upon you full of sorrow and compassion. The younger examines you dispassionately, seeing your every act and thought. You have ascended from the mortal realm. From here, you are but one step away from partaking in eternal bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. But first you must be judged by them, just as every other soul born in this world has been judged since time immemorial. Only their judgment can decide whether you deserve to remain atop the peak or be hurled down to the foot. You stand before the twins. Your very essence is laid bare before them, all the secrets of your inner self revealed in full. Your soul is like an open book to them, one that preserves the story of your entire life. You lie prostrate before the gods. The time has come to take responsibility for your mortal life. And the elder twin asks, are you thankful to the gods for the life you lived? You are thankful? I wouldn't say that much. You are glad it's over? No, you refuse to submit. You despise them. You regret it. You are calm. I think calm. Your life was your life. We lived it our way. We tried our best. They hear your answer. Compassion and remorse fills the immeasurably deep eyes of the elder twin. He turns to face his divine brother, who returns his gaze with an expression of stern remorse. The elder twin asks once more, what was your life to you? Struggle? Yep. Suffering? It could be. Toil? No. Empathy? Empathy could be a good one because, I mean, if you consider this, we give up at least 2 of our lives, maybe even 3 actually, helping other people. We didn't think about ourselves too much. We were doing a lot of thinking about others, I think. I'm going to go empathy. The elder twin bows his head wearily, considering your response, but the stern visage of the younger already looms above you. Human by the name of Brante, what did you live for? Principles. Yep, could be. You live for the sake of freedom, both for yourself and for others. Freedom also could be a good one. Power, no. A cause, no. Happiness. No. You live to make other people's lives better. It's between these 3. We were pursuing freedom, I suppose, because we were trying to go to the new faith, which was the freedom of choice for others to live by their own you know, ways, I suppose. Still within the realms of a faith, but, you know, through choosing their own lots. So I suppose freedom, although if you're going to go freedom to the extreme degree, then you could say that that might be Father Mark's kind of freedom, which is a bit not quite the same. Living by your own beliefs, other people. I think it's a toss-up between these two. I'm going to go with freedom. The younger's gaze lingers on you, bare, defenceless soul. The divine figure continues its stern interrogation. What did you leave behind? A flipping mess. Change. Order. No. Nothing. Exactly. Not a damn thing. Home. Achievement. Legacy. We didn't leave nothing behind. You blazed a trail for change that will long out. You could argue that. Chaos is yeah, you could argue that. Not in a good way. It certainly did leave a mark, so I'm gonna go change. We sowed the seeds of chaos. The younger twin now moves towards you with a clear intent, poised to render his judgment, but the elder twin restrains his brother with a gesture. A divine voice fills you once again. Did your life make the world we made better and more perfect? It became better. It cannot be changed. It did not become better. It became worse. Clearly it came worse, didn't it? God, it was horrendous. It was a mess. That is not for you to judge. That's an interesting option. It's a very interesting option, actually. Why should we judge that? You judge it, gods. Well, we wouldn't know. Well, we were dead, so it all happened afterwards, I suppose. But it was already becoming worse as we were alive, if you remember. Our family was fucking ruined. There was all these things happening. So it cannot be changed. Indifferent. It certainly didn't become better. Don't know if it became worse, but I don't know. Did your life make the world we made better and more perfect? See, I don't think don't know is actually an obvious answer here. I think we were aware that we were failing. We could see it. Our family was falling apart. The Inquisition was falling apart. We tried to get it to fall apart. I mean, all of that stuff that happened in the end, I suppose, would have been beyond our recognition. You know what? It became worse. It did. There's no hiding the fact. The younger twin is silent, his eyes two swords piercing your soul. The elder twin speaks to you again, but you already know the question, the very same question that caused you so much suffering shortly before your true and final death. What determined your destiny? I did. My foolish decisions. The twins exchange a glance that lasts a brief moment, and all eternity. Then the hand of the elder twin reaches out to you, glowing with light and warmth. The gods offer you an unprecedented opportunity to change your destiny, to rewrite the book of your life. Would you like to take a different path in life? What? Yes! You reach out to the massive hand of the elder. It lifts you up when you are enveloped in warmth and love. You want to stay like this forever. But you must return to the life you knew. The Elder Twin's hand releases you. You fly down, down to the mortal world once more. Oh, that's... Oh, no! I thought it might be, but I just wanted to check. To restart from the beginning of the chapter, select its icon. Oh, I don't like that. We should have just accepted our death and see what happened then. I don't want to restart. Oh, bugger. Right, okay. Oh, cack. Oh, this is just like flipping Not Tonight all over again. And the other game that we got a bad ending in. Beat Cop. I should have... Right. Oh. Oh. The game shouldn't have given us that option. Okay, so what I would have to do is basically pick all the same choices again, basically. So how do we do this? Hang on a second. Let's see if we can get back to our death. What became of you? Right, your fate is sealed. Right, we can get back to this bit, actually. We're fine, folks, we're fine. Let's just power through this here. Right, we are calm. Hang on, folks, we're fine. We're fine. It was empathy. It's fine. Other people, a cause, freedom. Freedom. Okay, very good. And change. Order. Did we go for change? Home, legacy. Was it change? I think it was change, right? It was change, yeah? And it became worse. And we determined our own destiny. No. Your life is over. You will face whatever awaits you with no regrets. You reject the hand of the Elder. The immense divine silhouette withdraws in sorrow. The younger twin steps forward, leaving you to face his law alone. The twin's judgment is nearing its end. The soul of a man named Brante lies prostrate at your feet. You have witnessed his entire life, known his every act, seen his every thought and desire. No other soul could ever walk the same path. So many difficult choices, so many emotions, so much pain. Another soul awaits your judgment. You know no mercy, nor does your brother. Every mortal must walk the path chosen for him to the very end. Those who abide by the precepts set forth by you and your brother shall return to you and become part of you. Those who reject you shall know the eternal suffering of oblivion. Where does a man named Benedict Brante belong? Eternal bliss or eternal suffering? At least give me some bliss, man. I've suffered enough. You gingerly grasp the fragile soul, lift it up and turn to face your elder brother. You lift your sword. Your brother stands with arms akimbo, ready for the blow. The blade slices through his chest. Blinding light gushes from the gash. You bring the minuscule soul to your brother's chest, and it dissolves in the streams of shimmering luminescence. A tiny fragment of your shared creation has rejoined the whole. The man named Brante is no more. There is only the eternal font in which he now abides. The Chronicle of Life. Sophia saved. Death. Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? So the whole game was you reading the life of Brante as the younger. Indeed. The twins indeed see everything. Oh. Damn and blast. Oh, at least we get some credits. The chips are probably cold now. Oh, not bad. Well, there we go, folks. A bad ending. Add it to the list. But at least this, at least we're honest to our decision making. No reloads. Playing it out. Full roleplay as usual. Thoughts on the game? Really good. Really enjoyed it. It was absolutely brilliant. I really did enjoy it. I mean, clearly it would have been nice to get to the end, but I kind of knew at one point it was unlikely to happen. But it's like good old Dwarf Fortress, It's not about the fact that obviously your fortress implodes and you all die at the end, because it's inevitable. It's the way you get there. It's a story you create on the way to your ultimate end, isn't it, I suppose? And we had some fun. We had some fun there. I'm only sad that I died and my poor family will be in mourning. Yeah, the poor stats. We were doomed from the poor. So basically, we didn't grow up well enough, is that the essence of that. We should have listened to our parents, taken part in our studies as we should have done, and learned from our mistakes. But anyway, Bumbling Ben. I don't know if we're going to get anything after the credits, but my dinner is going cold here. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll let the credits play, but I'm going to eat now. So I'm going to thank you all for watching The Life and Sufferings of Brante. Don't know if it's still on sale. It could well be. So if you fancy giving it a go yourselves and trying to get a better ending, now might be a good time to give it a try. But yeah, tomorrow there's no stream because I'm going out, but I have recorded an F122 session, the final race of the season. It's a bit of another one where things happen. So hopefully you'll check that out tomorrow. We'll be returning to a stream on Tuesday when we stream CK2. So hopefully see some of you for more Topcliffe escapades. But yes, let's all mourn the death of Benedict Brante, but he ascended to the peak of the pillar at least, and hopefully now he's enjoying eternal bliss, because bloody hell, he's earned it. What will we play Sunday streams? To be confirmed. I had something in mind, but I can't remember what it was. I'm going to go and recheck my list, and I'll let you know in due course. There will be a video update coming soon also, very soon, because my anniversary stream is literally less than 2 weeks away, and therefore I better start getting something sorted for it. So yes, Tuesday might be a video update too, in addition to the CK2 stream. So stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Right, there you go. Credits over. No little hidden eggs. Damn and blast. Right, well, go forth, folks. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and evening. Of course, it's a shorter stream, but I got a holiday to book, so I can crack on with that now and then get ready for work tomorrow. Have a good week. Shorter week if you're celebrating Easter and have bank holidays to look forward to. I may bring you a stream or two on the bank holiday weekend, so we'll stay tuned for that. But have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching this series. Hope you enjoyed. And once again, until next time, it's bye for now.